So we sit down and the presser starts.
Everyone, thank you very much for coming to this season opening press conference.
And there's only one other person in the press conference with us, DJ Bennett. And I love this guy. He does interviews with so many people. He's stylish, like he's a young, like well put together dude. He knows his stuff.
I'd like to introduce our panelists today. To my right, I have legendary head coach Stu Lang. To his right, starting QB Jazz Lindsay and DB Jaden Johnson. To his right, offensive lineman Cameron Wilhelm and linebacker John Rush. We're going to open the floor with Harrison Bourdon. After that, Coach Lang will be moderating, so please look to him for the follow-up questions.
For me, I wanted to lead off with a good question. It's obviously got to go towards the coach, so I'm trying to think of all the angles that I can do here.
Coach, first off, thanks for your time here. I'm Harrison Bourdon from Sportsnet 360. Guelph is only one of 2 universities to be given an A recruitment class ranking from CFC. What about this program makes it so appealing for young talent coming into the CIS?
It started with the facilities. It moved on to the program. We have some excellent recruiters. Last year's successful season also helped. Second question, the gentleman in the second row.
Coach Lang said, you in the second row, ask your question. Donovan grabs the mic and goes, I'm in the second row.
Jazz, question for you.
Oh, so you're just gonna do that, okay?
Scrums and press conferences, they're literally survival of the fittest situations. So there's gonna be that guy who's gonna take your mic because he knows he's gotta file by deadline. He doesn't care about you and your questions. I was that guy, and I hate that guy, but I tried my best to play the part of being a journalist.
Gentleman here.
My strategy going in was I wanted to make it tough on some of the players. My first target was John Rush, the linebacker.
My question is for John. John, last season, of course, you guys lost to Mac in the Yates Cup final, 30-13. And in both games you played against them, as a defense, you guys gave up 421 yards on the ground. You guys were outscored 80-20. So as one of the unquestioned leaders of the defense, how do you prepare them, both physically and mentally, to face a team of that caliber again in a Yates Cup final situation?
It's an alright question. Well, but the stats kind of, they never really tell the true story of what actually happened in the game. At the same time, we did things that other teams couldn't.
I decided to go with a different approach instead of go stats and, specific football questions.
Cameron, how's it going?
Good.
If Coach Lang gave you the night off, would you choose to A, go cliff jumping in Elora with your Kitchener buddies, B, go cow tipping with some Aggies, or C, head to Frankenstein's with some friends?
Head to Frankenstein's with some friends. Yeah.
Cool.
He's cut. Yes. Question in the back.
Joseph Otu, Sportsnet 360. Coach Lang, I want to talk to you about Plant the Flag. I've seen a lot of t-shirts. What does that philosophy mean to you?
I stood up and I wanted to make sure that they remember me, basically. I want to be memorable.
I often use the analogy of climbing a mountain as part of the season. Last year we got to the top of the mountain, but we've got to do one thing, and that's plant the flag. So our theme this year is to plant the flag.
I put my hand up and I said, Coach.
Yes, okay.
Good evening, guys. Thanks very much. Brett Gonzalez here from Sportsnet 360. Jaden hadn't been asked a question yet. Your defensive coordinator has said that this is the best defensive backs recruiting class that he's brought in the last 9 years. How do you feel about coming in and being a part of that mix?
I feel that we are a very, very strong DB class coming in. Being a part of that class is, I feel, just a compliment to everyone in it. And I think it only makes me a better player.
I apologize, guys. We only have one more question. The coach and the players have to get to a meeting. So our final question, Coach Lang.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, who. Yes.
It came to that last question, and I had a really good question lined up for the coach.
Coach Lang, while in university, you played both football and hockey and still managed to be a top student, thus demonstrating the ability to have
I want some to the football players, yes.
And I immediately threw my hand up and said, Coach, can I have the last question? And he gave it to me.
Yes, you.
I wasn't even ready.
Too slow, yes.
Too slow, next. And I was crushed. And it could have literally cost me that challenge.
Yes, you, yes.
My question is for Jazz. You're pretty much the leader of this football team, obviously, and you led the team to their first Yates Cup since '96 last year. You had a big season. But I mean, of course, you guys couldn't get over the hump. So how much pressure do you feel to put your team over the hump and get them maybe into a Vanier Cup situation?
I'd say it's not really pressure. I think it's more just expectation. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's what I expect out of myself.
All right, thanks
Okay, everyone, thank you so much. We're out of time. I just want to say thank you again to the University of Guelph. Gentlemen, good luck on the upcoming season.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, gentlemen.
All right, guys, first assignment in the books. Congratulations. You guys all represented yourselves very well. In the bottom three, we have Teddy Jenner. You had the opportunity to close the press conference, and you didn't have a question.
I had it from the very first time we got this assignment, and I blanked. I blew a golden opportunity to make my stamp on this competition.
Harrison Bourdon, we thought your question was pretty good. After that, you got a little bit timid and you kind of disappeared for a little bit.
I felt like I had an advantage for sure with the first question, but it ended up hurting me.
And Anthony Bruno.
The first thing that came to my head was you butchered a stat.
We actually loved your questions, but you made a pretty big factual error with regards to the last time this school was at the Yates Cup before last season.
First Yates Cup since '96.
And then Jackie said that if you actually had got your facts right, you would have been in contention to win the assignment.
Well, let's get to the top three. That leaves you, Brett, Andrew Corey, and Joseph O2. You guys all did a very good job. Brett, you were incredibly confident and comfortable.
Would you say that you guys are the team or one of the top teams to beat in the OUA?
And Joseph O2, you came prepared with a story in mind, and we could definitely see that.
Coach Lang, I want to talk to you about plant the flag. I've seen a lot of t-shirts. What does that philosophy mean to you?
Whereas you, Andrew Corey, you kind of stole the show a little bit. You had everybody up here laughing.
He's cut.
Yes.
And you guys have a lot to be proud of. This is a close race and a tough decision. But after speaking with Donovan, Jazz, and Coach Lang, the decision was actually unanimous. The winner of the first assignment is